Hey folks, here's Adewale here again with another ClosersCopy tutorial. This time I'm doing a tutorial on how to create frameworks for reviews. So Amazon's type reviews or affiliate type reviews. So this video I'm going to be showing you the process to follow, what to not do, the best ways to think about it. We want to highlight a few common errors people fall into as they're trying to create the frameworks that could cause you to now start generating inconsistent data or cause you to create frameworks that just veer off topic. Okay, so we're going to be looking at how to prevent that from happening. But before we dig in, you all already know that we are in the process of running a framework mastery challenge. So a few people highlighted some of their frustrations to me about trying to make ClosersCopy work for them. They've invested some money into ClosersCopy because they believe it's a tool that's quite powerful. But then when they got into the nitty-gritty of trying to understand how to create frameworks and make the frameworks be more effective, they sort of got stuck. And unfortunately, some people have had their ClosersCopy just staying there for over a year without really using it and benefiting from it. So that sort of caused me to decide to do this challenge. And if you go on YouTube, you'll find lots of videos that can help you train you on how to do frameworks properly. But I guess sometimes people just need some sort of hand-holding that can just guide them through the process and actually help them cross that boundary step by step to understand how to make frameworks super efficient for them. So we're going to be covering things like niche specific frameworks, helping you understand how to make your framework very particular to the niche you're trying to write for. We're going to be covering speed article writing using frameworks. We're going to just be looking at different ways of making your frameworks output be quality, and so that you stop wasting time as you're trying to create the framework. So if you're interested in joining this challenge, the idea is that we're waiting for the challenge to have at least 100 people. Once we hit our 100 people target, we're going to run the mastery challenge. And once that target is hit, we close the doors and whoever has bought in at that time will be able to attend the challenge. Now, we're giving us some incentives to help people. We've given some incentives. So there was 8 free slots, which has already been taken up. And we had another 50% offer. At this point, I believe we have just about 32 of those 50% slots still available. So if you want to jump in and grab one of those slots, you need to jump in now and join the Facebook group. So you join the Facebook group and then tell me what your biggest difficulty with using frameworks are, and then you'll be able to get one of those 32 50% discount slots. So there's going to be a link below this video for anyone who is interested in grabbing that. Okay, so let's dig into today's content, Amazon review frameworks. Now, when you want to start to create your Amazon review frameworks, you've got to bear something in mind. The AI you're using, whether it's from ClosersCopy or any other vendor, is not a database. The AI is not a database of all the information in the world. I think sometimes people are having the misconception that because the AI is trained on data all over the internet, that it should have all the information all over the internet. That's partially true, but it's not completely true. There'll be some information that the crawling bots cannot get to. That's one. There'll be some information that's new that the AI is not going to have access to. For example, if you were to ask the AI to give you the county Watford in London, in England is in. It can tell you that. So AI can give you some factual data. However, depending on the detail of that data, AI may start to get confused. For example, if you start asking AI to tell you the number of people living in Watford as of today, the AI may not be able to know the number for today, may know the number from when the last census was done. So you have to think of the AI as, okay, it can give you some factual data correctly, but not all factual data is going to be correct. As such, you have to protect yourself and protect your content. I understand that Google has been hitting quite a few websites that have been using AI written materials, but have not been effective at making sure that there's the human elements, making sure that things are written and done genuinely. Okay. So bear that in mind. We want to create a framework that helps us to write a review. And we have to follow certain formats and certain processes. For me, my motto has always been look for something that's working and then model it. Whether what is working is someone else's framework that's working, look for one and then model it. Or whether what is working is a YouTube video or a blog article and then model it. And so whilst we want to create the best review format possible, my experience so far since I've been researching on frameworks for reviews is that they all follow a similar process to this. There's a price, there's key features discussed, there's opinionated prose. I've put the word opinionated there because people seem to gravitate more to reviews where the opinions of the person reviewing is very strong. Then the opinionated con, then additional things people might need to add if that's a thing for what you're reviewing, and then your conclusion and final thoughts. Now, for some of the websites I've looked at, especially those websites that have been in the first page of Google for different Amazon type review pages, there have been some that are quite short. There have been some that are extremely long, like 1,000 to 2,000 word blogs. There have been some that have just been a few hundred words. And so it may be a good idea for you to think of creating frameworks for each of that type of review. So I'll suggest go look for that website that you know is doing very good. And the website we'll be using today is Wirecutter, because they've got some very good review systems here. And then all you then have to find out is how did the website write all these features in their review, and get examples of these. And then you've got your framework. So this is a very long framework example, very long. Now, if this was what I do, and this is not what I do, I'm just making this video to help you guys know how to do it. I would go into this type of video, this type of article. I'll get 3 more examples of these articles and copy, first of all, the introduction. Go to the next article, copy the introduction. Go to the third article, copy introduction, and place them as the intro for my long form review article. So I'm just going to show you how to do that, just in case you're still unsure of what to do here. So quite simply, just go there. That's the article. So this is introduction. And I always place a label to help the AI see the pattern clearly. So that's the headline. That's a label for the headline and the headline. So that will be example 1. So go into that website again, and then all I'll just do is look for another long post. Straight off the bat, what I notice about these long posts is that they are reviewing multiple items of a category. So Let's see if we can find one more. Beard trimmers. So I've got 3 articles here. And each of the article, the format they seem to follow is they make an introduction and then they go into discussion of each of the types of cameras or items. Some of the articles go into a long description of why people should trust them, and we're not. And if you want to do that, you could get a copy of that as well. But for the purpose of this presentation, what we're just going to do is copy the introduction, copy examples of item description, and just copy something to fit for each of our structures here. We've got the introduction here sorted. So one introduction for all of them. What's going on there? And by the way, if you are not necessarily wanting to create your own frameworks, you could just use this one that I'm creating right now. Just look at the description of this video. You'll find the link to this set of frameworks I'm creating now. So I've got the introduction. So we need the headline for here. So headline for the second one is best if refined. So what are we doing here essentially? We're just imagining that, okay, you've gone to Amazon, you've collected the details of Amazon of what you want to review, but you want to create a framework that you can then use those details from Amazon to create conversations with the AI. When you follow this approach, you'll be able to write your content very quickly, and most likely it will also be giving you relevant content straight off the bat. Okay, so we've got that. I find that 2 to 3 examples for your frameworks are good enough. So that should give us the introduction. We just need the syntax at the end. Input. Something else could be best. And like that, you've got your introduction. And pretty much what we're going to do is follow similar process for all the parts of the review system. So price is simple. You just put the right price. The key features is also simple. You just get the key features of the whatever it is that you're going to review. I guess with the key features, one of the troubles people find is that when they write the key features down in the frameworks, are trying to get the AI to follow using the key features, you have to bear a number of things in mind. The AI, first of all, as I said earlier at the beginning, the AI is not a database, so it won't have all the information about the key features. No. So for example, if you want to review a cup, the AI will know what a cup is. But if you have a cup with a special name, let's say it's called the digestive maximizer container, right? And it's a cup, right? And you go into the AI and give the AI that name, digestive maximizer container. And you're expecting the AI to know it's a cup. At the same time, is to actually give you descriptions and explanation and discussions around the cup. The AI is not going to do that effectively. It might give you ideas and conversations around the term container because it recognizes container, but it doesn't know that the digestive maximizer container is a specialized cup. It has no clue. So somehow in the key features, it's got to be clear to the AI that what you're trying to describe is a cup with that specialized name. Then the AI might be more effective at what it's giving you. So this is important because if you don't realize that's an issue, you will keep getting frustrated with the AI not giving you the output you need it to give you. So if your review is about a bed, it needs to be clear somehow in your framework that this is a bed. If your framework is about a microphone, it needs to be clear in your framework that this is a microphone. Saying the Philips 220 pickup may not necessarily let the AI know that's you're talking about a microphone. So it needs to be clear in somehow in your framework that the item, the generic term for the item you're trying to review. Now, this may differ for certain generic item that has been around for ages, and the AI is able to pick up what that is. So bear that in mind as you're trying to create all these discussions around your reviews. So let's move on. So remember, when you're putting this input in, for the example section, this is the format, but for the framework itself, this framework needs to be in this format. So we don't want headline, it should be product. No, it's a headline actually. It is headline. So headline input. So that's the only coding we have to do. And so that should give you good introductions for your reviews. Now, let's test that out. Oops. Back. Yeah, input one. There's a mistake there. And it's right on the money. You're getting very good discussions about options for earphones. Cool. And so this is how we go through all the processes of going through each one. Key features. Where are the key features discussed for each of the item here? Let's see. So looking at this, it has some sort of key features description briefly placed here. And here, it's discussing almost like the pros and cons. So it's almost putting the pros and cons together. Actually, that's a lie. It just talks about the pros. This is a huge pros conversation around the key features. Let's see if we can find the one. Key features, pros. Okay. So this particular site, as we said, what they've done is they've gathered a number of different types together, discussed them briefly with key features and pros, and then they've explained. It's almost like they've done like an experiment. They've done their own research and discussed how they went about doing their experiments with each item, and then formed a conclusion as to which they feel is the best, why they feel that's the best. And then they start discussing other types of trimmers here. Okay, so my understanding is this website does very well with affiliate products like this. So if you wanting to mimic them, you're going to go through all of that process of creating frameworks for each type of the sections. Well, we won't be doing that in this video because that would be way too long for this video. But that's the idea you follow. So you just take one section and use it to explore. So I use it to work on the framework. So what we do now, we will click like this and use it to feed the AI as key features. So we're still gonna have the same headline. Best, this case is best hair trimmers, is that? Beard trimmers. Just key features, and then brief discussion of the key features. So that's a brief discussion. And then that will be one example for brief discussion of the key features. Okay, so we got this here again. So that'll be quick discussion of the key features. And just in case you are wondering, why do we have input one? This input one is just helps the software to know this is where we want users to make their inputs, put their inputs. And in this case, the inputs would be the headline of your article, You're just using the headline of the article over and over again. So this is, now this one's a bit tricky. I know it says DSLR. Now, if the AI knows DSLR as meaning camera, that will be fine. But if it doesn't, that may create some problems for you. So let's see. A digital single lens reflex camera. Okay. So I'll be prone, just in case there's a word the AI does not know, I'll be prone to actually put in the full thing like that. It may not be an issue. It may not be an issue. But that will save you from experiencing problems with the AI's output as well. Okay. So we've got our example for the features. So this is a point to actually mention here. AI is not going to know what the best earbuds are on Amazon. That's going to be impossible for the AI to know what that is. However, AI is going to give you the sort of communication and discussion that you will need to make around the best earbuds on Amazon, right? It's now your duty to go and find the best earbuds on Amazon. So for example, you can see how in this case, the feature set is, it gives you the best. So you have your headlines and then you have the key features. So I would make this second, the features framework, have a second input. So you got the headline and we have the features, but then the brief discussion is what will make your article stand out. So you want to use a feature set with explanation that would make sense to the AI. Otherwise, it just won't find what you want. So in this case now, we can go on Amazon. Actually, let's just run that. Let's run that with that example of best earbuds. It's going to come out with the feature sets like we have here. However, chances that feature set is going to be wrong and it's perhaps not the best earbud. But again, that's not what we're trying to do. So earbuds, Sony MDR 1000X. Let me see if there is such a earbud that exists. It's possible that you could find. Oh, yeah, it does find one. But this is not an earbud, this is a earphones. So straight away, you can see how that is incorrect with, it's gone to approximate because it knows you're talking about something to do with the ears, but it's not an example that is not necessarily an earbud. That's what I'm trying to say. We should not expect AI to be able to get that information. JVC is a television. Right. So you can't expect AI to get that information. Let's try this one. Yeah, another headphones, not earbuds. So we'll go into Amazon and bring in the example earbud that we want to. So our features tool, we want to create a second input, which will now hold the initial description of the features, which we then would hope then that the AI would take that information and give us some sort of description that should match that information to some degree. So headline, key features. This would be input 2. So what we want here is we want information from here that will help the AI know exactly what it's talking about. So if, for example, if I pulled in wireless earbuds, Bluetooth headphones, in-ear with dual mic wireless headphones, I think all of that information, this will all give it good information that could start off the feature set description. Let's see what it will do with that now. So this is a common experience at the very beginning of trying to train an AI with data. Whenever I see things like this, I know a few things is happening. One is that the AI does not have enough examples yet to start giving me good content, or that there may be something wrong in some of the examples I've used. If you look at the style of discussion here, it's trying to follow the way the Wirecutter talk and discuss about their material. So there's some sort of tone to that language, to their discussion here. Okay, and this is something that's also important. If you notice that in my examples, I had the brand name and the model. So it might be helpful to use that as part of the framework examples to help things be a bit more clear. So here, I should have had Ewan Black in-ear wireless earbuds. It may still give a lot of nonsensical words. Again, as I said, if that happens, it may just be that you need more examples, get a few more examples in, and the AI will be a lot more effective. Okay, so this is sort of in the kind of things I need. It's gone into more extensive description of the item. Now, you need to check this definitely in Amazon to make sure that what it's typing here is in line with what the earbud is saying. However, if you just want it to just stick with only this description, you could just let the AI know you want the next steps to be from here, because that's what we put in the examples. Yeah. So let's run from there. And then you get just the descriptions. Okay. So based on that quick experience, realize that there may be another way to make this particular framework more efficient. So let's go in there. So we're putting key features here, but instead of putting key features here, let's write product name, then key features. That way the AI knows exactly what to look for. So we want the product name and key features. So that will be the product name, and then we want to input 3 key features. Oh, what am I doing? That's input 3. So that will be the description for input 3. So input 3 will be key features, and then input 2 would be product name. And that would ensure that your AI is talking about this particular product that has this particular key features whenever you're trying to pull out the discussion of the key features. Okay. Otherwise, yep, you experience it going haywire. So key features. I want to say product name and brand. We should then have all this stuff here. Product name and brand, key features, product name around, key features, description. See, one of the reasons why it didn't work before was I had brief description here and I didn't have it here. So you need to be aware of those kinds of mistakes, otherwise it could cause the AI to not be able to discuss properly what you've written. So the labels we want: headline, yep, product name and brand, yep, description, quick description, just kind of describes it quickly, and then key features will be the discussion. Okay, it's getting too complicated. Product name. I want product name, brand, and description together, because there's a quick description going on here. So we could have that together. And then discuss features. I think that works better. Yeah. So discuss features is that bit there, which we want the AI to give us. Product name and brand description is that bit there, which we will give the AI as an input. hold on. So we don't need this third input then. Actually, let's leave. Okay, so product name and brand. Let's leave that to there. And this is the discussion. Brief discussion. So we have product name and brand. And then this is key features. So we've got key features as the third input, yes. And then it gives us the brief discussion. So we want the headline, product name and brand, and key features. Headline, product name and brand. You can see I'm making sure that everything is the same in the labels, because that's what will help the AI know, okay, this is what this is here. So I should expect something. I should expect that this is what he wants from me. Product name and brand. Key features. And then brief discussion. So AI is going to ask me for input, headline, input 2, product name and brand. So we've got the 3 sections now. So every time you want to get out a content that's good for the description of the AI, the description for the AI, it's important to use these 3 features. And in fact, for the remaining sections of the review, I would suggest having these 3 features present. The only thing that would be different would be, for example, the opinionated pros of the features, the opinionated cons of the features. That's what you're going to be getting out of an AI. But for here, we're getting a brief discussion of the features. So let's put it there. Just to highlight, why do we need these 3 sections? Without these 3 sections, the AI won't know really where to go with the conversation. Just imagine there's a quadrillion amount of directions to go. The AI has to choose one out of that quadrillion amount of directions. So we need some ways of shoehorning the AI so it doesn't veer off topic. And that's why we've given 3 specific sets of information that the AI can hook itself on and keep itself in line. Got a description. This is actually earbuds. The sound numbers in. Yep, it's okay. I don't want that. Brief description. So let's put this brief description here. For this specific type of framework, I'll be wanting to use maybe about 4, 5, 6, 7, or even up to 10 examples, if I can get the words in, to get the framework to be super effective. So it's giving me a good description here, but what it's done is just try to create a new framework, because it's not using all our 400 words up. And for me, sometimes what I like to do is to take some ideas from here, take some ideas from here, mix them up, because that somehow feels a little bit more humane, because a human is having involvement in that decision. Otherwise, what we got here is a good enough output for discussion of the features. Okay, so we got that for quick discussion. Opinionated pros and cons. This might give us a good opinionated pro. It's quite long. As such, we may only be able to use 2, because you only can use 5,000 characters per example. That's 3,000 characters. No, that's 3,242 characters. That's way too long for what we need. So one of the things that we may need to do is find ways of cutting this down. Let's just cut one of this off. I want to cut it down to less than 2005, which will allow me to have at least 2 examples in there. Let's cut this off. We need to cut a few more off because we need space for the 3 Headline, product, brand, and features. So this is the air purifier. We got one example of a pro. Let's see if this might work. Otherwise, we need to still lose some words to put in some more context for the AI to follow. So we need the headline heading. Best. Let's take one from the headphones. So we need to get this down to headline, product, and pros. So pros is also quite long. I want to stick within that 500 character word for the whole framework. So if we gather them all together, 4,225 characters. That's okay. So let's just finish it off. So now we go with the pros. So we have headline, we have product. Oops. Headline, product, pros. So in this case, the pros, we won't have one for the pros. Headline, product. We need to change this to 1,000. I try not to go beyond 1,000 because if you, with the way the Nico has coded this, if you go beyond 1,000, the AI sometimes will just give you just one output. But sometimes I like to have 3 to 5 outputs to choose from. So I like to stick to 1,000 character length. So now I should give you a pro type discussion based on an in-ear wireless earbud, which you can then adjust to suit your article. Now, having said all of this, I know we're just creating the content, we're just creating the material. If you notice how Wirecutter go about doing theirs, they actually test things out properly. So whilst you can do it like this, but this will not give you the best outcome purely from the fact that you haven't quite tested the product. So let's go back. Something's wrong here. Pros. So we've got the headline, products, and pros. Do headline, products, and pros. Something's wrong. Headline, product. Show 1,005. Because for some reason that's not giving me content I want. Yep, that's good enough. We may be able to get away with adding the features into this to make it more efficient. Let's see. Copy some features from here. No, let's leave it there. So we've got good pros. We just need cons now. Just going through this particular website, I can't find any cons particularly that will fit with what we are trying to do. They just discuss the good sides, generally speaking, more or less camera. They're in a positive tone, flaws but not deal breakers. Okay, so this will be the cons. It's that they used the term flaws but not deal breakers, so that people are not completely put off from the item. So that's the cons then. Okay, so we use that. Pretty much similar to the format for the pros. I'm going to make it the label what we did not like. Hopefully that will make it more clear to stick with the negative. And then use that what we did not like. Hopefully that will help it to stay more negative. Air purifiers. What we did not like. Let's hope it stays between the. So we go. Too big. 625. Let's remove this. 506. To lose 6 words. That's good. So let's cover the cons. So hopefully this is now talking about the same thing but in a more negative tone of what's not so good. The pros. I need cons. Okay. Chord is a bit short at 15 feet. 15 feet is not short, but anyway. Which can make it difficult to connect to some devices, perhaps. Okay. The battery life is the biggest problem. So it's talking about problems, which is good. Which is what we want. Still keeping in the right discussion, talking about the right things. We'll need tweaking, and then we need fact checking, definitely. Because we can't expect it to get the facts completely right, like I mentioned at the beginning. But it's giving you the sort of tone or context to talk about, which you can then use for refining your article. Okay. Conclusions and final thoughts. They don't quite have a conclusion and final thoughts. What they do have here is a bit of a catalog of different information that the user might find useful. So they picked up results from earlier tests and just user information for keeping and maintaining their air purifier. Which is helpful, just helpful. You may choose to do something like this as well. Shame they don't have a conclusion and final thought section. And really, what you would do is find conclusions and final thoughts from other websites and try and combine them, just like we've done with these frameworks. You can see the process is quite simple. As long as you find good quality examples, you'd be able to just create your outputs like we've done here. And in fact, I believe some people just stop here at the pros and cons, and then move on to the next article. So that's really all you need to do for your Amazon reviews. And now you've got this sets of tools, introductions, features, pros, cons, which you can access. Yeah, there'll be links in the description to these particular tools. And if you are interested, when I update my set of tools regularly. I've got a document which I send out. I haven't sent it out yet in a while, but my plan is to keep sending it out once I add more frameworks. So you can have like immediate access to all my frameworks, understanding what they are for in one document, as opposed to going through the hundreds of documents or frameworks in the community. And as you ready, the frameworks that I do definitely work and achieve the goal you set out for. So that is how you would create a Amazon review type framework. I've gone to a great depth in today's video. The last video I did also talked about frameworks, about review frameworks, but in this case, it's taken inspiration of reviews, other reviews frameworks, and use those as generating tools. So you generate different sections of your framework from other frameworks and just stick them together like a Lego. So if you're interested in learning more how to master frameworks, don't forget to join our Facebook group. Again, the links are down below. Just click the link, and you can join on time to grab one of the remaining 50% discount slots. As soon as we are 100 people, we're going to run the Framework Mastery Challenge. So that's all for me today. Wishing you all the best. Please comment and share and all those good things that will make the YouTube algorithm machines love my channel a lot better. Thank you. Bye.